The soft glow of the TV bathed the small apartment in flickering light as Lily sipped her coffee, trying to shake off the eerie feeling had settled in since last night. She hadn't been able to sleep. Something felt wrong. It wasn't the usual sense of unease either. She had seen someone standing at the edge of the park, a shadowy figure that looked just like her, staring blankly into the street lamp's glow. She dismissed it as exhaustion, but as the day dragged on, the feeling only worsened. More reports were surfacing, people claiming they had seen versions of themselves in random places. At the grocery store, walking home, standing just out of sight. As the sun began to set, Lily's television screen suddenly flickered, a loud beep echoing through the room. The screen went black for a moment before displaying a familiar yet unsettling sight: the emergency broadcast system. Her heart raced as a mechanical voice began to speak.
This is not a test. Please remain indoors. Reports of unidentified figures mimicking human appearance have been confirmed. These entities are highly dangerous. Do not approach anyone who looks like you or someone you know. Trust no one. Do not approach anyone who resembles yourself. Authorities are attempting to contain the situation. Stay tuned for further updates.
The broadcast cut off as abruptly as it started, plunging the room into an unsettling silence. Lily stood frozen, her eyes glued to the screen, her mind racing. Suddenly, a knock echoed through her apartment door. Her breath hitched in her throat. Slowly, cautiously, she walked toward the door, her feet heavy with fear. She peeked through the peephole. Standing outside was her best friend, Sarah. But something was off. Sarah's expression was blank, her eyes wide but vacant, as though she was staring through the door rather than at it.
Lily, it's me.
Sarah's voice came from behind the door, but it was flat, devoid of warmth, as if something was mimicking her.
Let me in.
Lily's hand trembled on the doorknob. Her instinct screamed at her to leave, but her heart hesitated. This was her best friend. Or was it? Before she could decide, her phone buzzed. She picked it up and saw a message from Sarah. "Hey, just got home. Want to come over later?" A chill ran down her spine as she backed away from the door. The knock came again, louder this time, more urgent.
Lily, please let me in.
Her mind raced, panic flooding her veins. She didn't know what to do. Who could she trust? She backed away from the door completely, the sound of knocking turning into a steady, unnatural pounding. The voice outside continued calling her name, but it sounded less and less human with every repetition. She ran to the back of the apartment, frantically locking herself in her bedroom. She could still hear the pounding on the door, but now something far worse was happening. There was a tap at her bedroom window. Lily slowly turned, her breath shallow. There, just outside the glass, was her. Lily slowly turned, her breath shallow. There, just outside the glass, was her reflection staring back at her. Except, it wasn't a reflection. It was another her, standing motionless, her eyes wide, her mouth slowly curving into an unnaturally wide smile. The pounding on the front door stopped. Silence fell over the apartment once again. Then the figure outside her window spoke, but it was no longer her voice. It was a distorted, inhuman mockery of it.
Let me in, Lily.
never the same.
Lily backed away, her heart pounding in her chest as she desperately tried to block out the voice. The emergency broadcast had warned her, but it hadn't prepared her for the true horror of what was happening. She was trapped with herself. The final beep of the emergency broadcast system echoed in her mind as the lights flickered, and all she could do was pray the authorities would arrive before her doppelganger found a way in.